Kurt, I appreciate you coming on and doing this today. Could you start by giving us a brief intro? What's your company and what's your
Sure.
role?
Yep. Kurt Krasick, technically vice president, business partner of Mar Building Solutions. We primarily furnish and erect pre-engineered metal buildings as a subcontractor in the Kansas City metro.
So you said technically you're the VP. What are you actually in real life?
Oh boy. In real life, I'm an engineer, but I wear a lot of hats here, just like any small business
Sure.
owner does.
So let's start from the beginning. What was going on in your business before you joined Acumen? Where were you guys at?
I would say that we were starting to see some success, and by success I mean growing. We had a couple of years of pretty aggressive growth, and with that comes chaos, right? Um, you're happy that you're adding staff and the revenue's growing, but you're dealing with all the challenges of growth.
So what made you pull the trigger on Acumen? You're in growth mode, you're having growing pains. Why join Acumen?
So I was invited to a quarterly advance by an Acumen member, and one who I just thought was a phenomenal person. I thought he was a great business leader. Um, I would refer to him as like the smartest person in the room. And anyway, so he invited me to a quarterly advance. I attended, and then from there met with you, obviously, and thought that Acumen could be, a good resource for our business, for myself, to develop leadership skills, to bounce some of, these growth challenges off of other business owners. And yeah, jumped in and haven't looked back and have loved every minute of it, honestly.
So, you can invest in a lot of things in your company. Um, but so why Acumen? Like what was that tipping point that you're like, this is valuable for me to join at this moment in time?
I mean, honestly, I think when you step back and reflect a little bit and realize that you don't have it all figured out, and there are people who are smarter than you, that have experienced more than you, that have, walked through some of these challenges that you could go use as a sounding board and go ask questions to and get real solid feedback from. Like, why try to figure that out all on your own when you could surround yourself with people who have been through it, and will walk you through that and help you.
What areas have you improved in and why?
I mean, first and foremost, I think just surrounding yourself with intelligent people that have good core values, I mean, are going to bring you up as a person. I know I've told you this in the past, but my wife sees more out of me as a husband and a father than she does as a business leader, which I think is a great kind of byproduct of what Acumen's done for me. Um, but I mean, every challenge that we've had in our business, whether it's a growing pain or not, well, I've taken those to Acumen councils and used them as a situation. And um, there's been somebody that's walked through that's been able to give me advice. So whether it's an HR issue or an insurance issue or a financial issue, um, I've been able to get feedback on a variety of issues, topics. It doesn't really matter what it is, and implement those ideas and those suggestions into our business, and that's where the real ROI is, in my opinion. I've been able to bring my business partner into Acumen. So for him to want to just jump into Acumen after me being in it for a couple of years has been pretty cool. So that means that he's seeing, the growth, the return, all of that. Otherwise, why join, right? And
Yeah.
then beyond that, we've had the opportunity to add several of our people to emerging leaders. And that's been cool to see them come back to the office after their shortened counsels with, a smile on their face or an idea that was presented to them, and then watch them try to incorporate that into our business has been pretty neat.
So your business partner was staring over your shoulder and like, hey, I wanna make sure I'm growing and learning. And then you now can pass that down to your team and they're learning some of the same things you are and some
Yeah,
different stuff to go from coworker to boss and lead. So curious, is there anything they brought back that you were like, ooh, I'm so glad that you learned something that you are implementing inside the business?
I can see when they come back, it was like, hey, we discussed this HR issue today, and it's something that I want to try implementing with our employees. Our operations managers went through emerging leaders, and now we're integrating some of our project managers into it, and for them to develop relationships with people in similar seats in other businesses has been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I know that they're bringing things back and they're implementing things that they're here and are working elsewhere that will make us better. So
How long have you been in Acumen now? How long have you been a member?
I think I'm coming up on 3 years. I believe this month or next month might be 3 years.
You teased this a couple of times. So we're not a Bible study, but we do infuse faith into how we go about leading people in performance and profit and excellence. So what's that journey been like for you? And how has using that muscle in this acumen experience been valuable?
Yeah, no, I would totally agree. It's not a Bible study. It's people that, you know, have a faith aspect of their life, but more importantly than that to me, just like good solid core values. Um, it- I like the monthly reminder of me getting together with the group of guys and somebody saying, "Hey, I've done this as a husband, I've done this as a father, and here's the impact it's had," and that really turns the gears in my brain to go home and implement something that, maybe I wasn't doing before, and it's nothing huge. It's just small, simple, acts of kindness. It's like
Hmm.
being a business owner, you can get drug into an email or a phone call, and late at night or at home when maybe your energy is better spent spending time with your family, with your wife, whatever that looks like. So I like the monthly reminder of, the guys talking about things outside of their business and what that looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely both and because it's all one thing, right? You can't really separate this family and kids from
No,
the business. Just our lives aren't built that way.
they're
Uh,
definitely not. It's all intermingled.
that's right. That's right. Um, okay. What would you say to somebody who's thinking about joining Acumen?
Jump in. I mean, first and foremost, I tell them like you're going to get out of it what you put into it. If you want to skip councils, if you want to not show up to the, advances, the quarterly advances, the outbounds, the, debriefs with your growth catalyst, then you're probably not going to feel like you're getting a lot out of it. But I'll guarantee if you do show up to those things and you put effort into it, you'll see the ROI.
Okay, so that sounds like a lot of time. Kurt, how do you take all this? Like, you have a lot of stuff going on. How do you spend this time to come hang out?
I know one thing we talk about a lot, and it is a new concept to some business owners, but it's like if you're not taking time to work on your business and get away from the day to day and put the phone down and stop reading emails, like you'll stay buried in the business. Yeah, you kind of just lose sight of the goal. And I think the trade-off of a day or two a month to work on the business is well worth the effort and the time.
I appreciate this, Kurt. This has been is cool, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next 3 years with you.
You got it. Anytime.